So we sent around just a copy of the PSAB, Pennsylvania State Association of Boroughs, just general talking points and guidelines for this process. Aside from the president, vice president, and second vice president, everything else is pretty much pro forma. But in terms of the process, the mayor presides over the beginning part of this meeting, so he'll call it to order, lead us in the pledge, we'll do the roll call, even though you haven't been officially sworn in, you can still answer that you're present for the county court. How are we going to do the setup when the judge comes up? We have I didn't notice walking in. Do we have a podium or?
There is a podium out there. I can go out and I can turn it around. I thought about that. I wanted to do that, but I didn't do it.
We are using the room then?
Yes, yeah, it's a public,
Usually, yeah.
it's a public
Yeah.
meeting.
Okay, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 7 o'clock's public and then we'll be back in here for the work session. So usually they do it down by the microphone, or we can even give her the wireless. We just found that those wireless mics don't work all great. Yeah. So
At the podium, so
I can that around and she can do it down there and have everybody's documents, everything ready to go.
yeah, David's presidency. We'll just have the 3 victims. Oh, I mean, council members come down to be sworn at by the judge. Stick around to sign. Do we have the form?
Ladies and gentlemen, I was unaware we were going to use both the main and the rear meeting room for this session tonight. When I switched on the main meeting room, unbeknownst to me, the microphone switched to the main meeting room. As a result, we lost a few seconds of audio here. Essentially, this is a pre-meeting that's explaining to council the process of the reorganizational meeting. You'll see it all play out in live time in a few moments.
Official, all official, the mayor will start the process for president, second vice president, the process here. Then move somebody to nominate as president, does not require a second, really, so it's nominated. The name, mayor, continue to call for nominations, so it doesn't appear anymore. Choose one, the language there will call and move the nomination for borough president closed, and it will enter the ballot cast. There's only one though. If there's more than one, then the roll call vote election. And we'll go through the line alphabetically. The president comes for the last, the president right now. Go through. Say the name, the majority of votes. Otherwise, there is a tie vote. And it could be you are able to cast that vote, even though you're overseeing the meeting under the borough code, you are entitled to break that tie. Yep. Same process for vice president and second vice president. You are able to vote for yourself. You are technically allowed to nominate yourself. People don't do that often, but I'm against that. And there's no requirement for a second to a nomination. So we'll avoid that. Oh, that's written right there. So your job will be done once everything's reorganized in terms of just those 3 positions, and then we roll into public comments, if any, and then the actual reorganization business as listed on the agenda. I don't know, I mean, in terms of anything different or unusual this year, not too much. Fire, police, nothing on the agenda.
It's pretty standard, other than the new business items.
Pittsburgh Post-Gazette is still publishing twice a week, so unlike the Trib, we're still a viable newspaper of general circulation. for now anyway. Others are appointments. You may wonder, why is Salish appointed by resolution? Because the MPC says members of the zoning hearing board, as opposed to all these other entities, are to be appointed by resolution.
What does zoning have to do in such resolve compared to everybody else?
I think because you're a quasi judicial body,
Yeah.
you have your own
Have your
solicitor,
Yeah. And then planning commissions with different beliefs.
recommending body.
Yes,
Same solicitor.
yeah.
In terms of new business, maybe we might be able to talk in a quick executive session, respect to motion 19. And we have some time here, but the other motions, 21 or 22, are related to the MS4 project, and Justin is not able to be here. Did report he did get a slight 30-day extension of time from DEP, so it was originally up, I think, the 12th. And so Reed, right before he left, had handed off the final versions to these residents, and the golf course is Spirit Realty. So we are having a motion on here to approve it once we get them turned around and back so that they can be recorded. But as of today, just got a brief extension of time, so it's not mission critical for the January 12th date.
Over here back, you went on actually.
I haven't, I don't remember what Justin he has, but we were out of it aside from putting together the drafts. So.
Justin reached out last week and was asking
Yeah.
who was following up, and I had indicated that Reach had sent them out, and if we get them in, we'll let them know right away.
And we'll be recording the other one, Glasgow's, tomorrow. It's approved last week. Easy peasy. Any final comments, questions, Mayor, or comments, Kathy, as the guru of the agenda?
I'm comfortable because I know you were sitting next to me, Mac.
Oh, right.
I put the mayor's nameplate in the middle, and then we can shuffle nameplates afterwards. So like, Laura, you sitting on the mayor, who sits on this side, and then
Just let really.
you're where you are, and then we can shuffle.
That's every year. Sell tickets, like the tire in Jersey. Get him Tawny, give somebody a Porsche.
Hey, Max, do I need to go into, like, I will now accept nominations for president of Borough Council. Do I need to go on with and say a minimum of one nomination? Or could I just say I'm now accepting?
No, that's, you can announce it if you want,
I was planning
as
it.
long as if you're comfortable reading the script, it's
Okay.
there for mostly public edification and clarification.
That's fine. That's good.
That's it.
Good.
What's that?
That's it. But we used to not have a pre-meeting, and then it was kind of like a
Little pandemonium.
a little crazy, so that's why we started scheduling the pre-meeting, just so everybody was comfortable, but
We have a little bit extra.
we do.
Dress rehearse extra time.
Yeah, we need more up to speed.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Do so. All right, so nothing else, we'll go into executive session for lease negotiations.
This is Crummer, roll call, please.
Present.
Yeah.
Here.
Here. Here.
Here.
Here.
Here. Thank you. Okay, we'll begin. We have a swearing in of the new officers, officials, I should say. And the oath of office will be administered to the following newly elected officials. by the Honorable Judge Lisa G. Middleman. And yes, and thank you so much for honoring us with your presence tonight. I just want to say, though, that the newly elected, those will be sworn in will be the newly elected Laura Checkeye, Councilmember John Lee, Councilmember Brian Malcolm. Thank you very much. It's all yours.
You can use the podium, Judge.
They were faced their adoring fans.
Yeah.
We don't want that sign then, right?
You do want to sign.
All right, ladies first.
Good choice.
You raise your right hand and repeat after me. You solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this country,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office with great fidelity.
and that I will discharge the duties of my office with great fidelity.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Because of the,
You met a lot of people.
it's
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
I will support and open and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of Pennsylvania.
the Constitution of Pennsylvania.
That I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
I will discharge my duties of office as lieutenant.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you. You know, Mr. Al, I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
Amazing. Congratulations.
sure. Now it's alive.
Judge, thank you very much. Thank you, Judge.
Anything on?
Okay, we will move on now with the reorganization, as we call it, of the council. So I'll now accept nominations for president of Borough Council. A minimum of one nomination must be made, and it is not necessary to have a second to the nomination, so the floor is open for nominations.
Move Uday Palad be nominated as president of Borough Council.
Any other nominations?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to nominate Luke Maslinski for the office of President of Borough Council.
Thank you. Any additional nominations? So now I'll need your help.
Now. One.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so move Uday be nominated as president of Borough Council. Is that where I'm at?
Nope, we're right here. We're at move. We need a motion that the nominations of the president of Borough Council be closed.
Oh, okay.
moved.
I only do this every 2 years. So.
Been properly moved. Call for a second.
Second? Anyone? Do we have a second?
Second.
Mrs. Crumpet, are we good?
Well, you need to vote on the motion to close the nominations.
Okay,
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
okay.
Any opposed? None? Okay, now we will conduct a roll call vote with Mr. Palad and Mr. Mislinski as the nominees. A majority of council is required to secure the nomination.
Mr. Palad.
Mr. Palad.
Myself.
Myself.
Mr. Malinsky.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, the results are 4 in favor of Uday Pellard and 2 in favor of Luke Malinsky. Uday, congratulations. There she is. There he is down there.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. Now accept the nominations for Vice President, Borough Council. Again, minimum 1 is required, but no second is required. So I move for any nominations.
Move to nominate Dr. Jangley to be nominated as Vice President of Borough Council.
Any additional nominations?
I'd like to nominate Luke Maslinski for first vice president.
Any other nominations? Move to okay, got it.
Yeah,
Move the nominations for Vice President of Borough Council be closed. Do we get a second on that?
Second.
Well, I think don't we need
All in favor?
Well,
Actually,
I
motion.
think Mr. Malkin made the motion. Do I have a second to close?
Second.
Closed by, or seconded by Mr. Mislinski.
Okay,
Call for the vote to close. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Ms. Crummert, roll call on the 2 nominees.
Dr. Lee.
Myself.
Dr. Lee.
Myself.
Councilman Lee.
Mr. Maslinski, please.
okay, the voting results are Mr. Dr. Lee, 4, and for Mr. Malinsky, 2. Dr. Lee, congratulations.
Thank you.
Where are you? I'm not used to sitting here, so. So now accept nominations for second Vice President of Borough Council. Again, minimum of 1 is necessary, but no second is required. Any nominations, please, for the second Vice President?
Move Laura and be nominated as second Vice President of Borough Council.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
Laura, this
Laura.
check out.
Check out. Okay. We have nomination for Laura Checkeye. Do we have any more nominations?
Yes, I move that Tom Schwartzmeyer be nominated as second vice president.
Any more votes? Any more nominations?
I move that the nominations be closed.
Second.
Nominations are closed.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Hearing none, nominations are closed, and we'll ask the secretary to do a roll call vote for the second vice president of Borough Council.
Myself.
Laura?
Ms. Check, aye.
Mr. Schwartzmeyer?
Ms. Chekai?
Myself.
Okay, the results are in and, Mrs. Checkag has 4 votes and, Mr. Schwartzmeyer has 2. Laura, thank you and congratulations. Now I turn the meeting.
We're done. Well done. All right. Uday, do you want to move or
Tell me where.
do the rest of the meeting here?
We want to.
Yeah.
How easy
What
is
do you
that,
want to do? You probably need to do.
we just roll with it.
You should be the solicitor.
Dennis can have Regis and
You want to just
you can
move
sit
over
Regis
one?
chair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone's fine.
Oh, that's good.
Are they in your way?
Lori, why don't you sit next to him?
Mr. President, your seat.
Yep. We signed.
We'll figure it out. Ready?
Yeah. Do it every 2 years. Uh-huh. I've got you on the clock. There you go.
It's good.
All right.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Welcome. Let's start the meeting. So, public comments, residents, taxpayers of the borough are permitted to comment on current matters of concern or agenda items which are before council this evening. If you would like to address council borough council this evening, we ask that you please stand at the microphone, give your name, spell your last name, and give your address so you will be properly identified for the minute record. Each speaker is limited to 5 minutes. At the moment, no one has signed up, and would anybody like to speak? Okay, seeing as none, Mr. Knock, is anybody online that would like to speak?
I see no hands raised, Mr. President.
Thank you. Okay, seeing that there are none, let's see, as an alternative, written comments can be submitted to public comments at franklinparkborough.us prior to noon Eastern time on Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024. In order to be considered at this meeting, please include January 2nd in public comment. No, it's a moot point. As the subject of your email, and include your name and address so you're properly identified for the minute record. Moving on to the agenda, reorganization business. Can I get a call for motion 1?
Move the president of council be authorized to sign checks and in his or her absence, the vice president of council or second vice president of council be authorized to sign checks.
Second.
Any comment? Seeing there are none, all those in favor,
Aye.
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 all those opposed? Seeing there are none, motion passes.
First one out of the gate.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, motion number 2.
Motion number 2, move the official depositories for the borough funds for the year 2024 be Charles Schwab Institutional, First National Bank, Pennsylvania Local Government Investment Trust, Pennsylvania Treasurers Invest Program, and Westview Savings Bank.
Second.
Are there any comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Move council retain Robert Max Yunker in the firm of Babs, Callan, Clemens and Zomnier PC as borough solicitor for the year 2024 at a retainer of $6,900 per year, which shall remain in effect until superseded by future borough council action.
Second.
Any comment? All those for?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Move Leland Smith and Solid Engineer Inc. be appointed borough engineer for year 2024 at a return of 3,600 per year, which shall remain in effect until superseded by future borough council action.
Second.
Any comment? All those for?
Aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
Move that Civil and Environmental Consultants Incorporated be appointed stormwater engineer for the year 2024, which shall remain in effect until superseded by future borough council action.
Second.
Any comment? All those for?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Move to ratify resolution number 987-2010 adopted September 15th, 2010, setting forth the municipal and expenditure and policy to safeguard borough resources and prevent unauthorized expenditure of borough funds, and to authorize the administrative staff to distribute the policy to borough boards and commissions.
Second.
Any comment? All those for?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Yunker, would you summarize resolution number 1354-2024?
Yes, Mr. Chair, President. This is resolution number 1354 of 2024. It is a resolution of the Borough Council of the Borough of Franklin Park, Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, recognizing the Franklin Park Volunteer Fire Company #1 as the fire company which renders service to the citizens and inhabitants of the borough, and authorizing the payment by the borough treasurer of the proceeds of the tax on foreign fire insurance premiums received from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to the Relief Association of the Franklin Park Volunteer Fire Company #1, or so much thereof as the Borough Council shall determine pursuant to the laws of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania for the year 2024.
Move to adopt resolution number 1354 of 2024, recognizing the Franklin Park Volunteer Fire Company #1 as the fire company for the borough of Franklin Park for the year 2024.
Second.
Any comment? All those for?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Mr. Yunker, would you summarize resolution number 1355-2024?
Certainly, Mr. President. This is resolution number 1355 of 2024. It is a resolution of the Borough Council of the Borough of Franklin Park, Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, appointing fire police for the year 2024 and providing for duties and control by the Chief of Police.
Move to adopt the resolution number 1355-2024, appointing fire police officers for the year 2024.
Second.
Any comment? All those for?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion number 9, move the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette be designated as the official newspaper of the borough.
Second.
Any comment? All those for?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Yunker, would you summarize resolution number 1356-2024?
Yes, this is resolution number 1356 of 2023. It is a resolution of the Borough Council of the Borough of Franklin Park, Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, amending and revising the schedule of fees per borough ordinances.
Move to adopt the resolution number 1356-2024, amending and revising the schedule of fees for 2024 per borough ordinances.
Second.
Any comment? All those for?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Move Bernard P. Morozak be reappointed to the, to the Building Board of Appeals for a 5-year term, which will expire December 31st, 2028.
Second.
Any comment? All those for,
Aye.
any opposed? Motion carries.
Move Philip Wilkinson Jr. be reappointed to the Building Board of Appeals for a 5-year term, which term will expire December 31st, 2028.
Second.
Any comment? All those for,
Aye.
any opposed? Motion carries.
Move Wayne Chang be reappointed to the Planning Commission for a 4-year term, which term will expire December 31st, 2027.
Second.
Any comment? All those for,
Aye.
any opposed? Motion carries.
Move Merrill M. Jones be reappointed to the Recreation Board for a 5-year term, which will expire December 31st, 2028.
Second.
Any comment? All those for,
Aye.
any opposed? Motion carries.
Move Lindsay Stack be appointed to the Scholarship Selection Committee for a 5-year term, which will expire December 31st, 2028.
Second.
Any comment? All those for,
Aye.
any opposed? Motion carries.
Move
Wei Chang be appointed to the Technology Advisory Committee for a 4-year term, which term will expire December 31st, 2027.
Second.
Any comment? All those for,
Aye.
any opposed? Motion carries.
Move Raymond A. Olderholm be reappointed to the Vacancy Board for a 1-year term, which term will expire December 31st, 2024.
Second.
Any comment? All those for,
Aye.
any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Yonker, would you summarize resolution number 1357-2024?
Yes, this is resolution number 1357 of 2024. It is a resolution of the Borough of Franklin Park, Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, reappointing Salish Kapadia as a member of the Zoning Hearing Board.
Move to adopt resolution number 1357-2024, reappointing Salis Kapadia to the Zoning Hearing Board for a 5-year term, which term will expire December 31st, 2028.
Second.
Any comment? All those for,
Aye.
any opposed? Motion carries.
Move to ratify the police contract for the period January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2027 in a form acceptable to the solicitor.
Second.
Any comment? All those for,
Aye.
any opposed? Motion carries.
Move to hire Deanna Datillo as financial coordinator effective January 5th, 2023 at a salary of $62,500 contingent upon satisfactory completion of all pre-employment requirements.
Second.
Any comment? All those for,
Aye.
any opposed? Motion carries.
Move to enter into the necessary easement agreement with Gregory Carabin and Penny Carabin for the restoration of a portion of an unnamed tributary, UNT, to Bear Run located within the Lowry's Run watershed for the UNT to Bear Run Stream Enhancements Restoration, Lowry's Run project as part of the borough's MS4 program.
Second.
Any comment? All those for,
Aye.
any opposed? Motion carries.
Move to enter into the necessary easement agreement with Spirit Realty LP for the restoration of a portion of an unnamed tributary, UNT, to Bear Run located within the Lowry's Run watershed for the UNT to Bear Run Stream Enhancements Restoration, Lowry's Run project as part of the borough's MS4 program.
Second.
Any comment? All those for,
Aye.
any opposed? Motion carries. It is public comment time. Are there any, there's no one signed up. Is there anybody who'd like to speak? Mr. Knock, anybody online, raise their hand?
I see no hands raised, Mr. President.
Thank you. Seeing as there are no public comments, we are at the end of the agenda. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you. We're adjourned.
Here's second.
I moved.
You move, yeah, it doesn't matter.
One of
It's
us
a move in a
moved.
second. It's our classic move in second.
Yes.
We're in
Technically,
lockstep.
you don't need it.
We're done.
Yes, we will
Yeah,
now
we're
move
adjourned.
on to the work session, but we will take some time to move back to the conference room. It's an open meeting to the public, but it's a little
Everybody's
cramped.
invited.
Yeah.
Thanks, folks.
Right. So, ready to go? Okay. All right, so on to the work session. Let's see, so old business, none still. On to new business, review the January 17, 2024 regular agenda.
Pretty late so far. It's open. We did knock out a couple of items this evening, so. Chad, I know. But I also blame Laura because she asked for me all did that quick. So we'll see. We can get 21 minutes. And go with this one. But no, we'll have our three officers. Civil service went through the testing process some time ago. The appointments were made last month in November or so. They finished the final steps in their process. So we've welcoming three new officers to the force. And you think, Chief, or the other officers that are either on duty come in for that as well? And
In the January?
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah. So usually a nice show of support and welcoming them to the department.
I did a preliminary swearing in.
Oh, okay.
Today, so they're good on duty.
Okay, good. So this will be a ceremonial.
Right.
Yeah. In terms of other items. Low key so far, and we will discuss a little bit later in the meeting, the blanks that we have for the delegates of the various bodies that we're a member. I don't know, Kathy, you anticipate anything else coming online or along? The planning commission didn't have a meeting last month.
We have one this month.
Oh,
Yeah, so WEPCO has
coming back.
design updates,
The landscape or?
Labor granted.
the various.
I may.
I thought it was modified. You were asking for, right? Tim, right? White goes out of modified variants, yeah.
They did. It was a tough one. She knows all about it. It's interesting. So they give me their plans today. They didn't give me any new applications. They didn't do that. I don't know. But that's what they'll be doing. So I think I guess everybody got a good deal out of it. So
All right. Compromise.
yeah.
More trees.
Yeah.
So are they coming in for a
I
revival?
didn't change the brick color.
Land development? That's what I was wondering.
Oh, God.
Are they doing what?
Are they doing just a revised land development?
Oh, they're coming in for, yeah, there's things that they want to change. They want to change, I think, concrete to asphalt or something in some of the parking lot, and they need to change yeah, make it a little bigger or something like that. So not huge changes, just enough to set them back, you know.
You mean asphalt like parking area and whatnot? So.
Yeah,
So that's permeable, is that more?
well, it's not gonna change the permeability,
Okay.
but the materials and the design will be different.
Okay.
It shouldn't be a big deal, but it does have to go through the process.
And the overall thought it should reduce impervious speed by 50%, is what they said. So
Yeah,
roughly
That's
6%.
good, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, no changes, questions? All right. Good, all right, so reports from engineer, staff, solicitor.
Regis and I had discussed, and it's a council's pleasure, but we had discussed, having the two engineers, the stormwater engineer and the borough engineer, get their reports first. And then if there was nothing else that council needed them for, then they could be excused from the meetings. Obviously, if there's something that we need them for later, they can be that, but. So that's it, council's pleasure, if you would like to do that. But I talked about it, so put it on there
That's a good idea.
for discussion.
That's good. All right, so if that's the case, engineers, if you like to go first.
Yeah, I don't get like the stormwater. It's not here. So it's on me. So just a few items, just to make note of that has happened after the last meeting. So the fire alarm, we're moving along as scheduled on that one. Advertisement was sent last month. We're scheduled to open bids at the end of the month on the 30th. For Blueberry, so we met, Blueberry Park, we met with ACCD to review their comments. We have a plan prepared for review with staff at the next staff meeting. And in conversation with ACCD, it should suffice all their comments and take care of that issue. And then we completed the dam inspection and sent the DP. There was no real issue with that. Just that, well, that's all I had to update on. Is you have to answer any questions, and I'm going to answer them, but I can forward them to Sean.
List guardrail yet?
Okay, any questions? All right, thank you. All right. Just go down the line.
Review.
Let's go for it.
Mix it up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I submitted my reports. Not too much going on this time of year at the golf course. Be quiet, we're closed for the season. Anything in the parks, it's really moving along a little bit. I know we can mention about the baseball lighting and different aspects of that cost. The Baseball Association, Zach and I met with them. They want to go ahead with, they had got that grant for some lighting for Field 4 that does not have lights. So we asked them just to address a couple of concerns we had. They want to use a current standing pole that's an older pole. We were worried about the load and that pole having issues down the road. And then if it's enough lighting for the pole they want to put in, because for erection, we don't cause shadow issues that kids playing. And then just the overall power that's in that building. Is it sufficient enough? When he was looking at it when we met, he was. It's a 480 single phase, which he said you don't usually do very often, but he seems to think that it should be sufficient. But he was going to do some more calculations to make sure. Apparently they use it, one of the phases to go down like the baseball shaft and stuff, so that's why it was done. So most of the, so it's fairly well loaded for the LED lights they want to put up, but we just want to make sure that they are within. We don't have to feed down the road with adding more power. Create more issues. And we can talk about that Field 4 with the slope issue. And I've been talking with Reed about, possibly next fall completely blowing that field up and moving fence back and trying to let. We're 8 feet now, 8 drop from center field down to home plate. So trying to make that a better playable field. If we're gonna do all that work, we might as well go. Yeah. So
Turning it, or you think still?
no, it'll just end up, it doesn't really, if you turn the field, now it's no longer the batter's eyes, it's in the outfielder's eye. So it's just, one of those things. So kind of leaving it the way it is, kind of cleaning it up from there. So we haven't heard anything back since, but we'll see what they move forward in the spring. So, but see if it happens or not for them. And then we'll just work on the other lights down the road. Down the road, they will become an issue because they are obsolete. The bulbs are becoming obsolete. So we will have to do something down the road, but that's down the road. Other than that, the golf course, if you guys saw, we had another record year, 32,000 more than previous year. Keep saying every year, I don't know how we're going to do it. We keep doing it, so we'll keep trying.
I liked your idea a lot. I don't know what everybody else thought about the honor system.
The honor system, and it wouldn't be, I wouldn't say publicly, but mostly the people who are regulars. I wouldn't put it out there on the billboard, but I'm sure word of mouth down the road. But for the guys who, when it is 50 degrees and decent, that I would have to keep a cashier there, pay them to stand there. They would just, be walking only, don't have to use carts. They do their own pool carts. That's what the course up in Buffalo Township does.
That's cool.
I just put like a red flag, the days, I don't want them there, but it's frozen. And if there's a green light, they can
display at their leisure. Especially, we don't have winners that we used to, so.
They don't take care of the course anyway.
They do, you know, they consider it their own course and they do take care of it.
Yeah, they really.
They really are. So,
Everybody else.
yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, good.
You have my report. Again, this is a slower time of year. We just finished up all of our events through December. Very successful for all of our events. Thank you for the carriages this year. That was a big hit for the Santa event. To piggyback on the lighting situation, we did talk to McCandless, and we have the engineering firm that did their poles a couple years ago down in Vestal.
You want the bell or the?
Yeah, the one instead of recertified.
Yeah.
The one.
The one that stayed up.
So we will be working with baseball to see if that's how we want to pursue, if we want to pursue with that company to get that pole certified, how much it's going to cost, things like that. Outside of that, I don't have too much. We will be going through playgrounds this month, weather dependent, just inspection and safety wise. We know we have some issues. So we're going to key in on exactly how many pieces have issues over the winter months here.
A lot of blueberry.
Yeah, that one section of Blueberry is over 30 years old. What I call the lower side of the Blueberry patch and the home run playground. So the one on outside of field 3 that most people don't even know is there. It's a very big issue. It's not as old, but it's also hidden back there. So it's taken a lot more abuse than some other playgrounds we have around the park.
Is vandalism still an issue up in Old Orchard and stuff?
No,
I know
the police had caught them and we haven't had any instances. The Old Orchard and the golf course, I haven't had any.
Yeah, we had a couple tags in the fall, Blueberry, in the dugouts, but
like on public.
what was that, 2-3 times and then done.
Yeah. We had one mini bike on the golf course, but they found him as well, so, yeah. Yeah,
But they didn't gain much of too much.
and one green, but it's pretty good, so. Luckily the season's over, we're healed in the spring.
Outside of that, the deer calling program, the month of December, we didn't start hunting again until 27th or 28th. So as of my report, we only had 1 day of hunting. So there's nothing to report on that matter. Come January here, we obviously will have pretty much a full month of hunting happening again. So expect to see numbers again for the next report.
There was a big one in my eye. 8-10-1.
I have him. He's right in that orchard right off of Binghamar Heights. He's like a 10 or a 12. He's an absolute monster. Wow. He's beautiful. Too many houses.
Yeah, too many houses. All 4 years.
They're free right now. There's golfers. They're 3 or 4 in the afternoon. They're all out.
So that's all I have, unless anybody has a question.
And so the planning commission will have the wet go revisions that we discussed earlier. And the zoning hearing board has a front yard encroachment that they'll be dealing with this month. So not a whole lot in the agendas for this month.
So you guys have my report. The 2024 budget has been approved and electronic copies are in the work session packet. The audit is scheduled for February 12th through the 16th with an interim day on the 5th. And we will be having a new hire start in finance as the financial coordinator on Friday, January 5th. She has prior years experience within finance. She worked with Civil Enterprise essentially for many years. So I'm excited to have her. Awesome. Yeah. Any questions?
Sounds good. Keith?
You have my report. We did not have a slow month. It was I'm sure everybody saw on the news there. We were more of a supportive role for that, but we were affected by it as well. But the other thing I want to mention too, the mayor had brought up to me, and thank you for that. But thanking the mayor and council that I'll be leaving Saturday for the National Academy, and I'll be gone till March 14th. Sorry to be leaving after just getting appointed, but I appreciate it very much. I thank you for your support.
Talk a little bit about the program.
So the National Academy is hosted by the FBI. It's a leadership program. They only select 200 people per year to go. It's an interview process, application, resume. They have leadership courses taught by the FBI, along with physical fitness as well. It's a 12-week program. I have to go down and live at Quantico. My wife is very happy about that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It'll remind me of my Marine Corps days and my college days of living in a dorm again and having roommates, but it's all good. I'm very excited actually about it. So.
And Chief, is
yeah.
this the one where the yellow brick is presented in a ceremony?
It is.
That's what I thought, because I remember when, I can't remember which was lieutenant or whatever. I remember seeing that.
Yeah, when you arrive, they have a timed mile that you have to qualify for, and then prior to leaving, you have to qualify to run what they call the Yellow Brick Road, which is essentially a Marine Corps obstacle course that they put you through. Once you complete that, then they give you a yellow brick with your session number on it and the date and everything like that. So, yeah.
That's great. Two things, Chief. Thank you for taking care of that abandoned car so very quickly.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And
glad
getting
to
that
help.
information and passing it on to Max and the school board. And also, I thought that bringing in the guy from Aurelius, that was a great idea. And if you don't mind, I might contact him to see if he's willing to come and talk with the fire department at some point too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mentioned in there that is former Stiller John Kolb, that is his son. They have the program together. It's a great program. I went up and visit them. They're great people and have a really, really good program. So yeah, absolutely. They would welcome contact. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, thank you.
Good travel, good training. Yeah. Thanks, Mayor.
Well, Chief.
Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, thank you, council, first for the reappointment. Look forward to 2024. You have my written report submitted. We do have a number of items under executive session, but by request, I was going to give a brief overview of the Sunshine Act for everybody's clarification and edification, but also for our newcomers as well. Always good for a refresher and a reminder. There's a reason, I think, why the Sunshine Act is the first chapter in this giant book, because it is one of the three main laws applicable to local government with respect to how you conduct people's business, paired with the Ethics Act and the Right to Know law. But the Sunshine Act, also known as the Open Meetings Law, is what sets forth how we are to conduct business as a governing body with respect to making sure that things are done in public when they affect the public. So first and foremost, the Sunshine Act addresses advertising for public meetings. Kathy is on top of it. We do an annual regular meeting ad that sets out our schedule for all the boards, borough council, as well as committees. That's something people sometimes miss. The definition of agency, the Sunshine Act applies to committees as well. And the way we've structured it is we announced that we will just meet in general for all committees at 6 o'clock, before our other regular meetings, work session, and we'll cancel them if we are not meeting in particular. So that's how we set it up, so we don't need to set that schedule up beginning of the year with great detail, and we have some flexibility, but those are by and large public meetings as well for discussion. the definition of a meeting and the thing that we're always conscious of is any prearranged gathering participated in by a quorum of council or quorum of a committee, where you not only take official action, the vote, but also the formulation of policy and discussions, everything else, but you also deliberate in those types of meetings. So the issue that a lot of places get into is they have 4 members of a 6-member or 7-member body that, decide to meet up at the borough building, start talking about how they're gonna conduct some business. And once that's, discovered or found out, that is prearranged, that is participated in by a quorum of the council, and it's for deliberation. It's not so much that official action was taken, as long as you're talking about should we or shouldn't we, or how should we or how should we not. That's when the public needs to be invited, alerted, and be allowed to participate. The Sunshine Act did not require agendas for a long time, until 2 years ago, where it became an official requirement. And so that is why we need to post a meeting agenda on the webpage with all matters of business to be discussed 24 hours in advance, and we can only add exceptions, walk-on motions for emergency items or de minimis items. So we, in the last 2 years, become more and more attuned to getting the agenda finalized. Although there wasn't a requirement until 2 years ago, everybody had an agenda because of the public participation provision of the Sunshine Act. It says before official action or vote is taken, you have to hear public comment on the matter. So if somebody goes in, you don't have an agenda, what can they comment on? You need to have the agenda set up, so you're not bringing every motion up and then opening it for public comment. So that was how it originally was created, and has been put in place. Sunshine Act also requires the posting and keeping of minutes, which Kathy does do. We've had debates over the last 15 years or so about how much detail needs to be in there, and it's sort of ebbed and flowed. Sunshine Act just says, the name of the person giving public comment, their address, as we mentioned out there, and the results of any votes and official action that are taken. So sort of the bare minimums. Anything else is pretty much gravy and has been at the will of the governing body for how we were going to put that together. We do put some details in for particular work sessions where we have debates and discussions, but they are summarized in the meeting minutes and are a record of our activities. There are no meeting minutes taken of executive sessions, which is one of the exceptions to open meetings. You can have an executive session for 7 reasons. We don't need to advertise an executive session. We do need to announce it either before or immediately after it is held. People can object to the holding of an executive session, but we also announce the reason for holding the executive session. You have the main ones: personnel, which includes appointments of anybody except for elected officials. You have litigation or pending litigation. You have labor negotiations. You have emergency management now, which is a recent add in the last 5 years. Investigations, quasi-judicial deliberations. That's pretty much the main ones that we run into from time to time. I guess the labor negotiations as well. Yeah.
What's the difference between announcing and advertising?
Announcing is just at the meeting, like we were there. We have a section in the meeting where the president will announce that council held executive sessions at these dates and times for these purposes. You can do it before you go into it as well. It does not show up in the newspaper and does not need to be put in on the webpage.
Just on the record somewhere.
On the record somewhere. Yeah, sure. In terms of public comment as well, they are allowed to participate. Residents and taxpayers are to be given time. We've selected 5 minutes. We've also added a second opportunity at the end of a meeting for people to comment on what occurred at the meeting. There's some debate discussion. Do you do it at work sessions as well? And the Sunshine Act talks about doing it at meetings where votes occur We don't really have votes here, so we usually have a disclaimer saying that, public comment is only taken at the regular meeting before any votes are taken. Public is allowed to record any meeting. They don't need to announce it or otherwise. We have signs in there saying this meeting, is being recorded. Kathy has her record for meeting minutes, and with the advent of Zoom and everything else, that's sort of become more of a non-issue. But if you do see somebody with a camcorder holding up their stuff, that is allowed for the sunshine. As I mentioned, executive sessions is sort of the key area where the public can be excluded from discussions. The other area has been created, it's not in the Sunshine Act, but the courts have determined that elected officials can have information sessions, which are essentially just information gathering sessions where no deliberation occurs. You can ask clarifying questions, but it was meant to address, some issues. In that particular case, it was litigation going on. They brought in a party to explain it. That doesn't fall under the executive session because the litigation exception is only for consultation with me. It's not for settlement discussions or bringing in other attorneys. So the Supreme Court has said, well, a body can still gather information outside of the public process, that doesn't need to be advertised, doesn't even need to be announced. Meeting minutes are taken, but it cannot devolve into a deliberation session. And should we or should we not do whatever is being presented? We have not had many of those, but it is an option that is out there. What happens if we violate any of these rules? One, if there's something that's obvious or noted or seen, we don't allow public comment. We walk something onto the agenda. The advertisement is incorrect. Any interested party has 30 days to file a challenge, court of common pleas, ask for the action to be declared void, and potentially get their attorney's fees. There is also a criminal penalty for knowingly violating the Sunshine Act of $100 to $1,000 for the first time of a summary offense. It can go up to 2,000 or so for repeated offenses. What happens if something happens behind the scenes and nobody knows about it? Because it's violated the Sunshine Act, people have 1 year from the action to file a challenge, so that extends that 30-day limitation, but not until the end of time. Finally, the one issue that really has not been addressed completely, even though it's been an issue for 25 years, is the use of emails. By and large, the courts recognize, in terms of information gathering, and everybody has emails, but the prohibition is again on deliberations by emails. Sometimes if you're talking about an executive session topic, back and forth, okay, maybe, but it's best to do it in the meeting along the room. But in terms of information that's sent out from the borough, there's usually updates or pieces of information, things to be aware of. We avoid getting into back and forth and debates and discussion by email because that is, although not a prearranged time, it is a deliberation between a quorum if everybody is on. So we, tamp that down, don't allow it to be a subject of deliberation. And as we have started to use the SharePoint system, share file system, there are features in there, that are either should not be used or do not, that allow sort of collaboration and comments, in a business world or company, might be useful, but for elected officials, we've always counseled the elected officials not to be using those features through SharePoint, otherwise for the same reasons of potential sunshine violation.
When at the council, somebody sees that potential deliberation going on in one of our council email chats, somebody to say, hey, we need to stop this. We're,
Maybe pick up the phone and do
interesting.
it. So it's not continuing the,
You can talk one-on-one, you can talk, 3 amongst yourself, as long as you're not getting up to that magic number of 4 in the quorum, you're still able to talk we run into each other, at the grocery store and ask what's going on, or what do you think about X, Y, and Z? But it's that corporate concerted effort with a quorum has the ability to bind the borough that we need to avoid through email or other systems.
Max, just going back to, you mentioned prearranged, just want to throw out a scenario. What if what if you have four of us that just happen to be, for example, at the Franklin Inn, and we decided to evolve and get a table and discuss an item, right? It wasn't prearranged, but that is something that's probably divulged later.
Yeah, the prearranged requirement, it is looked at by the court like that's almost like, when do you form the mens rea to commit murder? It could be in like a split second. If you sort of all agree we're going to go sit at a table because you just happenstance ended up in there, well, there's the prearrangement and why you should avoid having that discussion. And it is, you'll run into each other at ALOM meetings and other things like that. It's just something to be aware of. It's prearrangement doesn't mean everybody gets on the phone and says, okay, we're going to meet exactly at this time, in this place, in this location, in 2 weeks, and we're going to talk about X. It can be more happenstance, which is scary. So.
That's kind of related. We've been getting a lot of emails, or at least I have them, about social media for elected officials and what you post, and even if it's outside of, it's not on the borough's equipment or anything. But basically, some of them almost sound threatening. Like, you better have your people trained if
you're doing social media.
If you're a borough manager, and I don't know if that ties into this at all, or.
It does. It's more in the right to know realm. We've seen 2 cases involving the mayor in one instance, not our mayor, but a mayor in a community just using their private page, on Facebook, by talking about borough business, and that being subject to right to know requests, even though it was not maintained, was not run. Commonwealth Court said that was it, and then there's always been on the right to know law side, well, is it one individual or is it the entity, doing the action or being agency business? And that has started to trend of if it's one person on as the borough council member Facebook page, well, that can still be considered a public record. All right, we've done, I believe, an article, and I can circulate that as well, even with the legal intelligencer, about those 2 cases and sort of the warnings that came. They are on appeal. We'll see what the Supreme Court, A, if they take them up, and B, if they view your roles as that expansive. But it is a new area of the right to know law, getting into social media, from a private account, but by an elected official talking about borough business.
If you're going to make the ALOM more, I would highly recommend they do on this, because they cover all the hot buttons.
Pretty exhaustive. All right. Any questions? Scenario?
Yeah.
Very good. All right. So moving on to the next item. Okay, cool. All right, the ALOM Spring Conference.
If everybody can let me know this week if you plan to attend, I'd like to get the reservations made because the main lodge does sell out, as some of you know. I would need to know your arrival date, when you're checking out. We'll get those made next week. The information indicates, we will make your reservation, we'll make your hotel reservation, your conference registration, and your meal plan. So we'll take care of all that. And I believe this year they want everything charged to one card. So
Regis, he's not here.
It usually goes online. So
yeah.
I said everybody else uses my That's okay. So anyway, she can let me know by the end of the week and even if you're not planning on attending, just shoot me an email just saying I'm not attending, and that way I know and I'm not chasing you down to find out.
Have they done the agenda yet, or usually wait until?
They're usually, I haven't checked, I didn't have a chance to check. to see if
Usually
it's
a
out
little
there yet.
closer to the actual date.
They take a lot longer than is it the, PSCB conference, they put theirs out early. So,
And they're good, I mean, I think. The last 2 years, I just go for Fridays and they've split sessions, and then Saturday is the elected official or the. County executives sometimes come and the other officials. We have changed that around, they've done that Friday this year.
They did change around one.
Something like, yeah, the last 2 years, Friday morning was the legislative council.
Yeah.
Saturday was county executive.
most of it, if I'm correct, takes place Friday, Saturday, correct? Thursday night.
Thursday night, but Sunday after Saturday.
Well, I think there's must be, there's food in that Saturday night.
Yeah, some
Pretty
people
much,
say-
there's not a lot on Sunday. I'm sorry, Saturday, there's not a lot on Sunday.
But you do have to check out, because I think you've
Yeah,
checked
that's
out,
right.
but then still attended some.
Yeah. That's great stuff.
Okay, please like happy now. By Friday?
By Friday, if possible, yeah, like I said, probably Monday, Tuesday at the latest, I'd like to get the regulations made, so. Last year, we had some issues since, Dale
Oh, yeah.
took over Seven Springs, there were lots of emails, incorrect reservation stuff, so. Let's get it all sorted out, hopefully, be good this year. The next item is, for the January 17th agenda. We'll need to appoint the ACBA delegate again. Previously, it's been Brian. But again, council's choice.
I'm a good sport.
Yeah, it's not the bar association.
Yeah.
The boroughs.
County-
I'm like, right.
Yeah.
Anybody wants to
Anybody?
really do it?
Nobody wants to.
Yeah.
Where are you on?
This could
They
be,
have to at the casino.
interesting thing to try.
I mean, well, what is it, before I.
It's the boroughs association.
County took care of it for you, didn't do anything.
There's really nothing. I remember years ago when Amy Sable was here. She said she went to one meeting and they looked at her and went, why are you here? Because I guess it's just certain people attend, and so there's really nothing. They have a dinner that anybody can go to.
Casino.
In February, I think it's Allegheny County Boroughs Association. So really, we have to appoint a delegate. Not much.
The stuff we do is really long.
Right.
I'm not passionate about it. You guys have a good- Cool. All right. Love that.
Yeah, sorry about that. I apologize. Did we, staff members, ready to go? I'm not speaking anybody for executive session.
The chief.
That's okay, sorry.
Right, Max.
It's got 3 months.
Vacation.
5, 6, 8.
Yeah. Keep going on
You get to stay.
vacation.
You get to stay.
Who gets to stay?
Chief, let him run the office.
Thank you.
Exactly. Hot every day.
Really?
John.
Yeah.
I just like to take it.
Reminder.
Next is the COG delegate and alternate. It has been the delegate, has been Dr. Lee. Alternate has been Mr. Schwartzmeyer. That was
That one more active.
That one-
It's only quarterly, right?
Yeah, I will attend the.
You guys-
update,
5 times a year.
Five,
5 or 6.
5, 6
And
times.
they do online if they're.
I think it's all virtual.
Yeah, you can do virtual or in person.
Oh, they do in person?
I believe last year I have attended all of the meetings. So I think I'm done with that. Can someone else take this one? I can be,
Alternate.
alternate or something, you know.
what is it called doing again? This is the purchasing,
Council of Governments, yeah.
get together and buy trend.
They negotiate our cable deals, right?
Something
like
There's a
Like our
cogs,
Comcast.
salt contract.
Salt contract. It's like Costco.
Most of they
Which
usually,
makes Okay.
yeah, they will contact, the board manager and they do, come up with something. and
Yeah, they have a
do the
borough
work.
managers meeting and I think do they have a police chiefs meeting, chief? The
Oh,
COG?
I'm sorry, I was reading.
Okay, the COG, they do police chief meetings?
They do, yes.
They do public works.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's basically just a big purchasing alliance,
Yeah.
really, mostly, right, Mike?
Yes. I mean, it has options to do more, but
You take all our leaves over there too. I think, so we
Yeah,
pick up
that's
the
true.
compost over there.
council of governments.
Yeah, sometimes you can, they can answer like how to, for example, how to contact the PennDOT and how to, because different community, they have their own, the idea.
They'll send out surveys and try to think reaches forwarded in these surveys. One municipality will have a question about something, they want to know how somebody's gonna
Yeah, that's,
send it out through the managers, just to get information and throw things back.
We usually keep the meetings to pretty strictly to 1 hour.
Yeah.
They're pretty punctual with them. And I did it for a couple of years. But I was going in person until COVID hit and then we started to go strictly virtual. And now I think they'll let you go either way. Yeah, it's over at the Shaler, municipal building, which is right off of Mount Royal, I guess.
What's on,
But
near their forms part.
it's not far away. It's something that's in person.
so who wants
Anything? Wait a minute.
How's the
How many
two?
meetings does the AC? Stay with
The better.
What are these meetings? Are they like at night or something, or?
Yeah, seven.
Yeah.
Seven, from 7 to 8. You mean that
About this,
I think it's once a quarter,
yes.
right?
No,
Is it more than that?
It's periodic. It's about 5 or 6 times.
Okay.
It's not regular. It's like, sometimes we'll meet 2 months in a row and then they won't meet for 3 months.
Yeah.
Night after our regular
Yeah,
meeting?
yeah, so
It's a
the
Thursday,
not
too.
there,
The Thursday night.
yeah, not there, we have.
And I do it Thursday.
if it's online, I can do that. It's something else online.
I mean, they're really pretty.
Have a
yeah.
lot to do as a,
Yeah, sure.
You know, I'll do it as the alternate in case somebody.
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah.
there you go.
Tell me when I feel to me.
I'm the alternate.
And what we will do, I'll notify, once the appointment is made, then I'll notify the COG, give them your information, and then they'll reach out to you directly about the meeting.
Yeah, I think they mail, at least they did when I did it, they mail packets, don't they?
Yeah,
Do they email now?
They email,
Okay.
you email,
That's
you
good.
like, you document that.
Like all the contracts. All right.
All right, I'll add that information to the agenda. Next was the McCandless Franklin Park. Originally, on Friday, we had one application. We now have 2 that are on the table. Both applications. So we started to talk about this earlier. Our, normal procedure is interviews. Once you choose the person you would like to appoint, then we do their background check. And they fill out a statement of financial interest and then we have to appoint.
Do we think that the fact that this guy works for the authority?
I'm looking at the section, I mean, on, governing body of a municipal authority. The members of the board, each of whom shall be a taxpayer in, maintain a business in, or be a citizen of the municipality by which he is appointed, or be a taxpayer in, maintain, blah, blah, blah. Which one or more of the projects of the authority extend, shall be appointed. I mean, unfortunately, municipality authority doesn't have that list of disqualifying events, coverage, but it does.
They would have oversight of the people who have oversight of them.
Which, that's what I don't understand. What does it mean to be a medical director of the agency?
Do you have an idea, Andy, what that means? I can go and ask Dr.
Is there
Stein.
another agency?
I can reach out to
I
Chris
think that's
Dow.
right. And then Laura said she's seen him drive an ambulance in the neighborhood. So I-
Like one time, but yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that was unauthorized.
I know. it's joyride.
Yeah, I guess, yes, I mean, cause that, yeah, I mean, just from a basic. How you govern yourself, what type of division, I suppose you could abstain, but from things back, I can't think of any other. You know, authorities where somebody's been an employee and board member. No.
No, I don't know. Yeah, and like you said, I don't know if that's a position.
Yeah,
I don't know, I don't know what it is.
because he's also faculty at University of Pittsburgh, Department of Emergency Medicine.
Cause there are certain, I mean, the borough codes, certain, you know, size boroughs, you could be a council member and employee. Us, townships in particular, the roadmaster is employee, usually a township supervisor. Second class townships, but I don't know about. Authority restriction. So I think that one will just take some more investigation in terms of, potentially being disqualified right out of the gate.
Okay.
On what that role is. And what's designed for that one.
Are you trying to fill just one?
Yes.
Just one.
And this is the, Franklin Park, McCandless, Ambulance Authority, and what is it, 4 McCandless appointees, 2 Franklin Park? You getting that count right?
Yeah, I think so.
And it provides service to our communities as well as Marshall, Pine, Bradford Woods. And they don't have any team.
But they're also not paying.
Well, signs paying.
Yeah.
That's, I didn't pause it.
That's true. Calculation.
He is
Yeah.
not, I think there was confusion on his part on Brian Cooper. He is not a member of any other board. I'm assuming maybe he's a member of
Somewhere else.
something else within the borough, but he's not a member of one of our boards or commissions. So you have a couple options, you know, we can get more information, on Adam's position. We can, you know, a lot of times we like to schedule interviews at the work session because you have more time than a pre-meeting. Like I had indicated, I know Reed was hoping we would get somebody appointed this evening. He was forgetting about background investigation. Obviously, when we got these applications late. So, you know, you could do it at the pre-meeting, or we're not going to be able to appoint them until the February meeting anyway, so we could schedule them for the February work session. So we'll find out more information, whether it be through Dr. Stein or Chris Dow.
I can send you too.
And find out more information on that.
It might be an unpaid position.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, medical directors are, they're compensated at like health plans, but I don't know, just being an authority may not be. If it's unpaid, I don't know if that's a conflict or not, but.
All right, well, we'll reach out and then, you can let me know if you want us to go ahead and schedule that interview or.
Are we doing the one
That's
definitely?
what I was gonna say, interviewing Brian Cooper, definitely.
And putting blank on the agenda? That quickly?
We can't do it at the pre-meeting without the background check.
Do a background check.
Pardon me?
Do a background check before.
I had thought about that when we only had one candidate. That was a question I was going to ask you. But if we have 2 candidates, I didn't know if we wanted to do that.
You might want to start doing it before the appointments.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. What you think he was interested in?
Yeah, it's just, yeah, my neighbor's not, my neighbor's, he's not one. It turns out you got 2, but he's not one.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah,
he did, so.
He did submit.
And then if we know for sure that that's on the 15th, maybe recommend that they attend to see it.
I mean, that seems logical if they're going to do this, why not?
I think those meetings are long.
Get down to we're done by the end of it.
It might just be down to.
He wants to be an alternate appointee.
Right.
Can't take that one.
Good. We'll proceed that way. Next I had down the schedule for 2024. This council schedule is always one of the last 3 documents in the packet. So we put the 2024 schedule out there with our normal, when we have different, board chairs come in each month, when we have the pension reps come in. One of the dates that came up that we didn't know if council wanted to look at, changing the work session for July. It falls on Wednesday, July 3rd, with a lot of vacations that week. The question is, do you want to move it back to the week after that? We would then have back-to-back meetings. You would meet the second Wednesday. We have done that on different occasions.
Yeah, you've done it before.
Yeah, I remember, I don't remember what the holiday was, but I remember that. Maybe. Yeah, we better do that.
Yeah. Kathy, when I was on school board, we used, a couple times when that occurred, we just did a combination of work session voting meeting together, the same meeting.
Do that. I mean, July for school board is a little, well, I guess you're starting off or so, but.
I don't know.
I don't know.
If you just don't know, you can't predict.
No, yeah.
No.
Say who's gonna have that.
I
I
think.
mean, I think it can be done.
It can.
But what do you guys think?
I'm okay with the 2 days.
Yeah, it's a good time. So,
Yeah, it's not a big.
You can always
No, I'm
cancel
okay
it.
with it. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just another option.
Another option. I didn't want to do that.
So, yeah, we would have to advertise that change since the meeting schedule was already, all right, so.
do that closer to the meeting.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. All right, so we're gonna move it back a week then?
July 10th, right?
Yeah.
Make that change on there. Also just briefly, I wanted to mention new council president. We'll get committees together and let us know. There's a revised committee list for 2024. I don't have anything in the packet currently. So once you have that, if you can let me know, and then I'll insert that, I can type it up or insert it in the packet.
I think
However you want to handle that.
You know, last time, the president asked for like if people have preferences too, if something fit their.
Yeah.
their interest or whatever.
Generally, doesn't seem to change too much.
If
Yeah.
anybody has, does anybody have an interest in,
Yeah.
do we need to do this now? Or?
You can do it by email.
Oh, okay.
Email.
I think that's what John.
Don't
Sure.
deliberate over it.
Yeah.
Email me directly. That's what else, by the way.
There you
That's
go.
what he wants,
Yeah.
directly to.
Okay, just let me know. And are you or John? Okay.
Or if you need the current list of committees, I can get you that. It was probably in
And this is
the,
something.
I thought, yeah, the December packet.
Right at the bottom.
That's all I have.
Yeah. We should on vacation.
All right.
Anybody heard? Is he landed safely?
Kathy's been shared.
He, yes, he actually was doing some emailing today, because he originally thought he would only have email access through Saturday, but a couple people did get, I had an email today, well, I saw the one about that extension. On the NS4.
Oh,
Oh,
I
you
just
didn't
got
see
one
that?
from Justin
Oh, okay.
directly. I didn't
Okay,
reach out.
he indicated, I guess, the DEP gave a 30-day extension, that's what they would do, so yes, he was emailing how long he's gonna have, he took his computer with him, but I don't know how long he'll have access. But, you know, we can call or text him if there's something urgent comes up, so. Hopefully we won't need to do that, yeah, have a nice vacation, he'll be back the 15th.
Okay, so no management report. Obviously. Okay. All right, I guess we're down to reports from council and mayor, so. Ryan?
Hey, Kathy, just kind of dovetails with the schedule, but I know I've got the I believe it's the 17th of January when I'm working on the first, planning and land use council committee, yeah?
Yep.
I did.
I want to suggest that I think we did a kind of a formal invite, but to get EAC in with their tree preservation initiative. They were working on something. I don't know if they worked with you on it yet.
No, I mean, we had that presentation, between Christmas and New Year, and
Yeah.
I worked on the ordinance.
Okay.
I have a draft, send it to the committee,
Yeah.
in advance. There are a
Okay.
couple of cross references we just want to check, that's the defined terms. But by and large, it mirrors what Pine did and what
Okay,
you
good.
recommended.
All right, so
We'll
we'll
have a couple discussion points.
Yeah.
And it's on their agenda
So they know they're invited.
for Monday night. They have discussed presentation at the 12-6 Borough Council meeting, which they made. Prepare for land use committee meeting at 6 p.m. on Wednesday, January 17th. Review sample ordinances from E-code, which I think that's what we're talking about.
And then if it's okay with everybody, I'd like to request the next two committee meetings unless something else has to go there, because I want to get the work done on this.
So then the 2 of February.
Yeah.
7th and 21st.
Yeah, and I'll get you we'll do the agendas in due course, but I think the agenda for this one is gonna be working with the EAC on this, discussing this for sure. That's gonna be the number one thing on that.
Okay. Do you want me to prepare the agenda?
Is that okay?
Prepare
Just the one thing.
Mhm.
And the other ones will be more plenary. Yeah.
Kathy, just look at the schedule,
Mhm.
February 3rd, what's this ACDA annual? Oh, that's the thing you're
That's the
part of.
thing.
That's the thing you're part of. All right. That's good.
Go to dinner and then report back how it went.
I think the 2023 delegate is supposed to go in this.
Oh, see, I agree. You got the-
Oh, carryovers.
Is it going away? Okay.
Yeah, so last official last.
First and last.
Okay. Brian, anything else?
I think that's good.
Cool. Mayor.
Well, just, been a great evening. Congratulations, you, Dr. Lee, Laura.
You.
You know, I have I'm full confidence that we'll all work together, continue to do good things for Franklin Park, keep it the best place to live and the safest place to live. I know I'm confident about that too. So, congratulations to all. Look forward to moving forward. Thank you.
You're a councilperson.
Nothing further from me. Just happy New Year, everyone.
Thank you. Dr. Lee.
Nothing. Thank you.
I guess I'll bring it up after Reed and Gary are here together, but we did that stormwater issue over with one of the neighbors.
Yeah.
On Cole Road, and I would like to get an update on that, but since either are here, I'll just carry it forward.
Yeah.
And I don't know if everybody knew or not, and my apologies, but Gary's not in attendance tonight because he's also a council person where he lives in Economy Borough. So tonight is their reorganization meeting, so Reach had told him that it was fine for him to miss tonight's meeting, so my apologies, I should have said that earlier.
Yeah.
That's cool. I know you.
Drag him in.
The only other thing that happened over in our neighborhood, we, in the last 2 weeks, have lost 2 neighbors that passed away, and one was Paul Black, Paul died on Christmas Day. And his wife died about 2 years ago. Died on Christmas, so I wasn't able to attend the funeral. It was only like one viewing, and I was tied up at that. So we missed Paul, and then 2 doors up from me, another woman, Ruth Taylor, passed away, I think right on Thanksgiving Day, so we lost one of the consecutive holidays. So, and then we had the fire on one side, and then 2 doors down, passed away like a month later, so we've lost like 4 long-term neighbors in the last 3 years, like 2 when that fire occurred, and 3 years over the holidays, so I guess the neighborhood's getting up in years, so. And I knew that Paul served on council here for quite a few years.
In Land Commission, me there too.
He's on planning commission too. He was a PhD from Slippery Rock University when he taught up there. And he was always would stop pulling the driveway all the time. He was a very interesting individual. So I'm gonna miss him. So I knew some of you. Thank you. That's all.
Or,
Just thank you all and I'm excited to get started.
cool. Yeah, just, I met Paul Black a month ago, for the first time ever.
Yeah.
He told me he was president of council.
Oh, he was.
Which I had no idea.
Great guy.
Yeah, very, very chatty, very, very, happy and easygoing. And, so I did get to go to the viewing. I had no idea we had a funeral home in Franklin Park. Literally, it's across from Sheets,
Yeah.
all places. Got to meet his son as well, so, and his
He works for the borough.
for,
Franklin Park, yeah.
oh, okay.
Is he still working at the golf course?
I don't know, to be
Last
honest.
I knew, he was still working.
Really? Donna handles the seasonal employees at the golf.
He was regional at the golf course.
Okay.
Then his daughter lives out of state. She was three-year-old.
Yeah, I think she lives in Missouri or.
Yeah.
Cape Girardeau,
Oh, was he?
82.
81 or 80, yeah. 82.
Yeah, I mean, no health issues or anything. His daughter-in-law said that he comes over every night, or not every night, he came over for Christmas dinner, drove himself, had a ginger ale. It was fine, drove home. And I think his son found him next to.
If, I was gonna say, if in the future, if that happens, if you would
Yeah.
shoot me something, because we do like to send something from the borough since he was a former
Yeah.
official,
Yeah.
just going
I
forward.
apologize. I
That's
saw
fine.
that and I couldn't make the viewing. That was only Friday night, I think.
Yeah, it was like,
And I
yeah,
wasn't-
we just got back into town, so it was like Friday, like afternoon or something.
Yeah, so, but yeah, I will.
That's fine.
You bet.
I know,
can't shut
I do that sometimes too, you don't think about. So.
Alright. Yeah, and congrats to Lee and Laura as well, and yeah, looking forward to council. Reach out if you need to. Guess that's all, if we can go to executive session.
Yeah. Can I just have 2 minutes on review with signatures, but.
Yeah.
I'll show you what we need. and then-
Okay, I can shut the
No.
recording off. Good.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, and just be recessed for